Hola, and welcome to episode 31 of Word to Your Mama. Today is also Relatives 06. Relatives, a podcast within a podcast. Relatives explores the history of when a first-generation Mexican girl and a Black girl meet in South Bay, San Diego to become relatives. We discuss Black and Brown unity, hip-hop, overcoming trauma, crazy movie-type moments, navigating life, and much more. Black and Brown unity por vida. In this episode, Nyysha and I, we didn't do one last month. We try to do it once a month. So we have to, of course, give some time and respect to DMX. We talk about him, how he's in our same age bracket. We talk about Gen X being the dopest, how George Lopez co-signs our sentiments on the Ouija board. We talk about heartbreak at a younger age, and then being petty, showing up to funerals for racists, and also murder plans at second grade. Murder plans while in the second grade. That is for reals. But before we get into it, let's talk about some amazing Word to Your Mama supporters. Let's talk about people who have donated, people that are new patrons. Okie dokie smokes. All right, let's talk about first Carmelita Sanchez. Right out the gate, I've mentioned it before, but I want to really spotlight it here. She donated right out the gate. Probably as soon as I announced or something like that. And was reaching out to people to let them know about the podcast. So soon out the gate, boom, she donated directly to the site. There's a donate page. Muchísimas gracias. Also, we have a new patron, and this is episode 7 guest Yvonne Gallardo. And she's a arts and culture consultant. She's like a kindred spirit. We ended up meeting when we were talking at some, arts academic thing. And I was like, how come I don't know you? How come I'm just meeting you? But anyways, she walks the walks and talks the talk. Is that how it goes? She walks the talk. I don't know but you know what I'm saying. I put the call to action and she was like, let me do pretty much everything on this list, which is above and beyond. And I really appreciate the support. So she became a patron at the I'm down level, which includes a shout out on the next episode. So this is it. This is it. And I just want to say muchísimas gracias to you. I love seeing the support that Word to Your Mama is getting, but especially being so much when it's women. Do you know what I'm saying? Women supporting women, because for a long time that wasn't the case back in the days. And now it's just all around. And I love it. I love feeling it. I love seeing it. I love doing it. So thank you to these amazing women of color that do so much for Black and Brown communities, locally and domestically, internationally. So gracias for that. And let's get into the next Relatives 06. Relatives 06. We missed last month, which was, what's this? We're May.
April.
So we
This is May.
We missed April. Because life gets in the way, things happen. But we're back.
Right. In full effect.
In full effect. So since we didn't record last month, what we weren't able to, acknowledge, I guess, if you will, is DMX passing away. And if you've been listening to the Relatives, you know how important DMX is to our lives. And it's one of Nyysha's hype songs when I asked her. And, future episodes when we finally get into the New York, our first New York trip with Marib, with Aaron, then it's going to be huge. So RIP, rest in peace, rest in power.
I'm still shocked.
I know. So young. 50 years old.
Ooh, that's our age.
A little bit older, but yeah.
Like I always say, when I say our age, I mean
like our bracket, like our
we
age
could have
bracket.
gone to school with you. If we could have gone to high school with you,
please believe
it's our age.
Like if we check the same box of if you're such and such to such and such age,
our age.
Age bracket for sure.
For sure, our age.
Yeah, super young. And it puts everything in perspective. You're like, holy fuck.
Scary. It's so scary. It's like, damn, we're there.
I know. And then, also, I don't know if it's like that now, because a lot of people, like we're just having a conversation with Supernatural Bear. I've been bringing it up a lot lately. I was like, you know what? I was like, your Papa Bear and I's generation, Gen X, we're the dopest. Like we were here like no internet, no cell phones. We had from 8 tracks to fucking iPhones. Like do what we did.
We got like that end to that end, like. Yeah.
And we're a latchkey. Like I was watching on the Tip Top. They're like, tell me you're Gen X without telling me you're Gen X. And there's one lady was like, oh, this is my time to shine. She was like, I was 8 years old babysitting other people's babies.
Okay.
She was like, I was of the generation where I would get sent with the note to the liquor store to get some cigarettes. She goes, as I'm 8 years old, walking along the highway, she was
by myself.
She was like, and they would give them to me. And then she was like, as a kid, like younger than 8, she's like, my mom would go out, but me and my siblings would be home, but it would be okay because our neighbor was going to check in on us.
That's insane. Yeah.
I was telling Supernatural Bear, I was like, I was out and about in those streets.
In the streets, baby.
On my bike, like going places, like only go to the end of the road. They didn't know where the fuck I was. I was gone. And then
downtown.
You know what I'm saying? They're like, just be back before the street lights come on.
They didn't even care.
No cell phone. They had no way of tracking us. No way of getting a hold of us. We had no way of getting a hold of them.
Legit just stayed out, and we had to remember numbers. You have to remember numbers.
We had at all times, especially teenage years, at about like 10, 20 numbers. Because you had to have your family's numbers, right? Sure. Like your tia, your, such and such, your cousin, da-da-da. And then you had to have your homies, like your good homies.
Yes.
And like that new dude that you met.
Oh God. But I had the little black book for real, because I think it was like we used to play some kind of game. Like, oh, let's see if we can get this many numbers. Like when we would go places like to the mall or whatever.
We did.
Oh, I got 5 numbers. Are we calling them? Nah, but we got the numbers. Challenge.
Nah, I have a picture somewhere of my room. And I don't know if you remember this, but this was like towards the end. I think before I moved up. But I was like, what is that picture? That thing behind my, like, I didn't have a headboard because it was just a mattress. And it was like a white cardboard, like, you know, like poster board piece of paper. And it said digits. And it just had dudes' names and their numbers.
What the hell?
It was the same thing. It was like, I probably didn't call all of them, but I got them.
But you got them. You know what I'm saying? Your time to shine.
I think it just said digits or said something else. I gotta find the picture. It's hilarious.
Oh,
I was like, what's the shit that we were doing? But yeah, so like, so what the whole point to bring it all around is that, hip hop was just coming out. And then in the 90s, it was like super huge. And we have these people that are icons like DMX. But they were making music and touring around the world and just, be blowing up into these big stars. But we didn't know at the time, they were only like our age.
And that's what I think, like, what? How? I thought you guys were so much older.
Yeah, but they weren't. Like, Special Ed, like, he's our age, bitch. Like,
that's crazy.
Because he was like, they were so young. And then I've been listening to a lot of Questlove Supreme, where it's him and like Fontaine, like some other people, and they nerd out about music, right? But they'll have like Kwame on there, and they'll have like a bunch of people, and they talk about like how they have Moni Love, and she's like super. They're like young.
I just mentioned her yesterday. That's crazy.
right? And so like, talking about how young they were when they were, thrusted into the music industry. Like MC Lyte, she was young. She was our age.
Yes.
Because I'm always like, damn, they look so good. It's because they're our age.
Still looking good. Most of them are still looking good.
Yeah.
And so are we.
Right? Ding, 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 ding.
So are we.
But that picture that you sent me of Special Ed the other day, whoa.
Yeah. I mean, everyone doesn't age like you think they will. But it's kind of like that. Like, when you're in high school or whatever, like, oh, remember the cute guy and cute. That mug ain't cute no more. Like, those people, but all the little ugly ducklings looking pretty good.
Yeah. Or some people they were cute back then. Moni Love looks amazing. She looks the same. Wow. She looks like sisters to her kids, like to her,
that's crazy. Like, that's my goal.
Just amazing.
Goals.
And some people just take care of themselves. Or combo, good genes.
Yes, for sure.
And also, like, maybe, unfortunately, especially the time we grew up in, drugs, a lot of drugs. Unfortunately, that's, what happened to DMX and stuff. It's a terrible disease to be an addict, but like some people were able to get out of it. Some people maybe dabbled back in the days, but they got back on track and they're all healthy and drink lots of water, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And also, we're people of color. So it might not even matter how much you try to do that. But if you have trauma and stress, it ages you, it fucks you up.
Yes,
there's so many different things, man. So many different things. So
insane.
R.I.P.
DMX.
Gracias por todo. He lives on, though. His legacy lives on forever and ever and ever.
For sure.
So if you remember on episode 15, which was Relatives 03, it was called I'd Rather Be Possessed, which is funny. If you haven't listened to that one, please listen to that. We talked about the Ouija board and our Ouija board experience and how we would never, ever. We don't fuck around with that shit.
No, we don't let our kids fuck around that shit. We don't let anybody that we love fuck around with that shit.
Exactly, right? No. So I wanted to I think I told you, Nyysha, but I wanted to play a little bit of, George Lopez recently was on Tiger Belly. Shout out to Kano. He told me that he was on Tiger Belly, it's a podcast with Bobby Lee and his girl. I think it's his fiance now, Kalila. And saying, oh, George Lopez is on the show and he's breaking shit down. Like he's hella real. And I was like, oh, I'll check him out. Okay. So I was listening to it and I was like, holy shit. So let me play this for you, Nye.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. Un momento. Hold on. I don't have it on my screen, so I can't share that. Hold on 1 sec. For podcast. Okay, here it goes. Listen to this.
DoorDash kind of promos.
Yeah.
And the lady was doing the sound and she told the person that was with me, she says, tell George that I hear somebody talking.
Oh,
so if you can ask them to be quiet. And I said, there's nobody here. And the lady fucking saw somebody fucking walk by. And then I'm going to show you this picture. And then
I don't want to see that. I'm not ready.
I got I'll show you a video, but I'm going to show you this picture. So whatever you do, listen, if anybody has a fucking Ouija board, throw that motherfucker away today.
Well, you did Ouija in that house?
Black no, but it's black magic. Ouija board, it's funny, you could get one at fucking CVS.
Target, yeah.
It's fucking black magic, man. Don't fuck with, because you're calling people that haven't gotten to where they belong.
Yeah, I know, I've seen the movies, bro.
You know, remember when
I saw The Exorcist, bro.
What the fuck Exorcist says, hey, Father, you have any change for a Catholic? Yeah. If you're calling your father, a fucking demon will take his voice and say, it's me. Yeah, but it's a fucking demon. So careful who you call, because those motherfuckers,
I don't fuck around either, bro.
Bruh.
He knows.
Exactly. He's speaking facts because I don't even know what to say. Like, my armpits got hot.
Me too. My armpits got hot.
They're hot, and I'm like hot right here.
When I heard that, I wasn't watching it. Like I was listening, because you can also listen to it on the podcast app. And I was listening, I was like, holy shit. So I was like, let me find this video, because I know they showed the video of it. And I was like, I remember I texted you or something like that, because I was like, George Lopez knows. So I'll have a link to this in the show notes, but you have to listen to it, because he talks about how he's always wanted to live in Los Feliz in LA, right? And he wanted to live in this one house because, you know, back in the days, the Mexican way of naming you was whatever day you were born, you were named after that saint of that day, right? So he said some funny story about like his mom. And if you know his story, like it's really his grandma that like raised him, but she was really mean. And that, you know, his mom wanted to name him after his supposedly father that turns out he doesn't think it's his real biological dad. And his grandma's like, no. What day is it? St. George. It's going to be George. Like, that's what it's going to be his name. So he said, like, he wanted to get this house, but, you know, LA, crazy market, mad bidding wars. But somehow it got to the seller that George Lopez wanted to buy the house. And then his people called him. He's like, oh, the owner found out that you were interested in the house. They said, as long as they love you, they're a big fan, just put asking price, they'll give it to you and it'll be yours.
Wow. So
he got it. And he said that on the it's like old, like 19, the houses out there are old. That's why I was like, I'll never. If you tell me the house was, it was built in 1920s, skip.
For sure.
No.
For sure.
So his is like 1920s, like the houses are like that, like old school Spanish style. So he said in the like the mantle, like the fireplace, like inside or something, that there's a tile, like back in the days, that's that style. You'd have like beautiful tiles imported. Yeah. He said that one was like St. George. Just one, just chilling. It said St. George on it, written on there. And he was like, oh, this is my house. Yeah, but then he said all this shit started happening. He started feeling shit. And then that shit, he said that was Uber people like, he starts telling all these stories and people are like, are you sure? I saw someone in the hallway. And then he's like, I want to see the video, but I don't think he shows it. He shows it to them. He has video and pictures. You look in the picture in the mirror and it's like a green face. I was like, hell the fuck.
Oh my gosh. No, ma'am. No.
And they were like, why did you just leave? And, you know, and all this stuff. Because usually we always, as people of color, we're always like,
run.
why would you just move? Because he could move. He's rich as fuck, right?
Right.
But anyways, he said he brought someone in to kind of do like a limpia, like, you know, like a cleansing or whatever. But now, fuck that. And he was living there by himself. This was like after he got divorced. Hell, fuck no.
Airbnb, baby.
Please believe it. Hotel it, something. So yeah, he knows about the Ouija board. No.
It's no joke. Y'all don't buy that shit. Don't play it. Don't even look at it.
So I kind of wanted to talk about today, because we wrapped up junior high, but I wanted to talk about heartbreak. How heartbreak was for us in elementary school, how it was if we had any major heartbreaks in junior high that we remember.
None.
Because I remember
my junior high was private school, so I didn't have nobody.
No, but then you came to our junior high. Then you transferred.
Yeah, I didn't have nobody. Nope. I'm a late bloomer.
You are, huh?
That's why I'm fast now.
Shut up, you're not fast. So I was thinking about that, right? Because it's just been on my brain recently. And so I was thinking, I was like, elementary school, like we just were like, let's go around.
I remember that. Let's go around. But
let's go around.
I wasn't going around with nobody.
And I think I went around with a couple of dudes, but it was like short-lived. And I think maybe we held hands walking around the playground or something like that, something stupid. And I hated it. Still to this day, I hate holding hands. Like I hate it.
Hilarious. Like I like holding hands. It's cute.
I think it looks dumb. And then it's awkward. It's awkward, like walking together.
No, hugging and walking is awkward. I hate that shit.
Hugging and walking is awkward. But holding hands, just regular holding hands, that's just awkward. My hand doesn't do that. It's not ergonomically correct.
You got to do it right.
No, and it's like, why? Why do I not touch you like that? Like,
yes.
The most I do is lock the arms.
That's a good one. I like that too.
And I don't even like that. Like, that's like maybe. So anyways, I was thinking about like shit like that. And then junior high, I remember I'm really pissed off because recently, you know, my B-day's coming up. So I bought myself, I don't know if you could see it. It's an R.
R.
Like, for Ritzy. Rocco was like, is that for Rocco?
I thought it was I was like, oh, we went there? Okay.
I was like, no, it could be for both.
For both of us.
So I had a Ritzy, but I didn't like the chain. So I wanted to get a better chain. I wanted to get like a pendant so I can add other shit. So I got an old English R for Ritzy, nice. Right? And then I was like, oh shit, I remember when I was in junior high, I was in elementary. My mom or my tia got me a gold M. Super cute on a nice chain, gold, like full blown gold. And I used to wear it all the time. And then junior high, this is before you arrived. This guy, he didn't even go to our school. I don't know how I met him. He was like someone's cousin or something. I forgot his name too. And I remember I was like so in love.
Oh,
and
gosh.
Like, you know, and I wanted him to remember me. So I gave him my fucking M.
Horrible. Never, ever to see
Never
it again.
saw him again and never saw my M. I was heartbroken.
He was in it for the M. Oh, she cute. That M cuter than her. I'm going to get that.
You boned out.
It was probably a bet.
I know, fuckers. I didn't know. I was new to the game. New
to the game. Yeah.
And so since then I was like, fuck this shit. But I was missing my M. So I was thinking, so that made me think of heartbreak. And I was like, yeah, junior high. I don't like, we never went out. Remember that one guy, Billy? I don't know if he was
Billy, won't you lose my number?
He was like super cute. His dad like drove a cab or something like that. And he was like hella quiet.
And he was Mexican?
Yeah, I think he was he was something Latino. I don't want to assume he was Mexican because it was all Mexicans up in there, but he was something Latino. And I remember I was like, oh, he's so cute. Everybody had a crush on him. And I remember like we would write notes to each other, but it was, if I think about it, I think it was just friendly. Like, hey, how you doing? Like, what's up in class? Like nothing crazy.
Right.
But everyone had a crush on him. I remember I had a crush on him. And I remember the song that I hear that always reminds me of him is Let's Wait a While by Jackson.
Let's wait.
We were in no type of relationship, but it was heartbreak.
You were in a relationship with him, but he wasn't with you.
He had no idea, but it was heartbreak.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I wasn't like boy crazy in school. I don't know. I guess just because I did go to private school, or
it was all girls.
Even that. Maybe just I like girls. I don't know. I wasn't never really boy crazy. Hilarious. Should have been a sign then.
It all makes sense. Oh,
it's all coming together.
It's all coming together. That makes sense, bitch. Because I was boy fucking crazy. I was just talking about baseball, right? Like I hate baseball. But back in the days, my tia Socorro, that you know, she was dating this dude and they were all about baseball, San Diego Padres, right? So we would go and tailgate and do all that shit. I didn't care about baseball. I could give a fuck. But I was pre-teen boy crazy. So I'd be like, I'll be right back. Walk laps around San Diego Murphy Stadium just to see all the hot boys. Wouldn't talk to anybody. But I'd be like fulfilled.
You just showcasing. To see.
You were I was showcasing, peacocking a little bit, and just to see some fine guys would make my day. You know,
what I mean? You was fast, man. You was fast in these streets, baby.
In these streets,
I would rather play with Barbies. Like not play like but do their hair.
Oh yeah, and that speaks volumes too. That's one of your set of skills.
Yeah. So I should have listened to that, Mom. You did me wrong. Help.
It was different times. It
was different. I was just talking about that yesterday. I was like, to one of my coworkers, just saying how it's different times because I felt low key she was trying to go in another direction because she's a newer coworker, so she don't know me like that.
Yeah.
But she just started like kind of to me a little downing. Like transgender or just people who say they want to be non-binary or whatever.
Because she was trying to come out that angle. She's on that side.
Yeah. Not like in a super negative way, but still negative enough.
Yeah.
And I was like, everyone has feels and da-da-da. And I just let her have it. And I'm like, well, when I was growing up, this is how I felt. And then so I think I left her speechless. She was just like, oh, okay. Like, she didn't know what to say. Subject change, you know. But it was, and I was saying how it was just so different. Like, I'm so proud of the kids these days. You're 5, 6, 8, 10, whatever. And you're like, hey, this is how I feel. Regardless of what you're going to be later and regardless of what you're going to be tomorrow. This is how I feel today.
Exactly.
Because next week I might feel this way. And next week I might feel. So, yeah, you got to listen to the kids. Got to listen to people, period.
Yeah, because they know themselves. Like, and they have, another thing is what we didn't have back then was the education, the information, and the vocabulary to be like, oh, I'm not non-binary. Like, I'm on the spectrum. I don't know. Like, I like it all. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, or it is a spectrum, right? Like, nah. And I remember talking about that. Like, I mean, come on, man. Like, I know it's not the most politically correct term, but I mean, I'm the biggest fag hag. I attract. I'm like,
but I think that's okay when you're speaking in that.
So like, but who knew? But back when I was a kid, you only know the hate that's around you, the people in your family, right? So I remember when, I forgot what group it was, Eurasia or something like that. It was like all gay dudes. And I remember they were like, you know, and it was starting to come out like, oh, if you wear an earring, you're gay.
On the left side or the right side.
Remember all that shit? And but they were like, they kind of look gay, they kind of sounded gay. And I remember thinking, for no other reason than it was in my family or taught in my environment, like, ugh, they're gay. But not even really understanding what gay was. Just knowing that whatever gay was wrong. Or supposed to be wrong. Do you know what I mean?
That's crazy. Yes.
Yeah, yes. But it wasn't. And you know, the
and
biggest
for me with that, Dewana, my sister.
Yeah.
And you know, they're so much older than me. Not so much, but they're older than me. Like they're a whole maybe 10, 15 years older.
You didn't go to the same schools.
Definitely didn't go to the same school. They were like my parents.
Yeah.
So I'm a baby. They're 15.
Yeah.
So she had a friend when she got married. Well, before she got married, she had a really good friend, gay. Did I know he was gay? I just knew he kind of acted feminine and whatever, but his name was Gerald. He sang at her wedding, and this was like one of her good friends. And I think she got married in the 80s. So after the wedding, I don't know what time frame, but I remember it was Mother's Day. And my sister was just crying. Yo, they found him murdered in his home. And if I can recall, I was young, and I don't know if I'm making this up or this really happened, that they cut his thing off and put it in his mouth. Like super sad. Yeah. You know, those were the times, gay this, gay that, like craziness, pure craziness.
The worst.
So, and then like when you're hearing, being young, being close to that, when you hear that, how can you fully be you? How can you,
Yeah.
These are things that are
traumatic. Someone was literally murdered for being himself.
Right. And so that probably affected me a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, no. I think it subconsciously affected you probably a lot.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And not to mention the other things that surround me. I have all older brothers and sisters, and everyone's heterosexual and getting married and this and that. Where am I?
Yeah. Where do you fit?
Yeah. And then just comments people make as well, even though they're making these comments and they don't know that they're hurting your feelings, or they're, just making you feel a certain kind of way because they're speaking. And then you see their truths because they don't know that this is affecting you.
Yeah.
And that goes for whomever, like when you're at work, you never know who's listening. You need to know your audience.
Yep.
So yeah, it's just so much that goes into that. But
read the room.
Read the room, baby. Read it with glasses on.
And if you think about it, like a lot of, especially back in those days, a lot of those assaults or to the extreme of murders were done by people who were, LGBTQIA+, but because they were finally acting upon their desires, they regretted it, and they started hearing all the voices and all the shame. And so they're they're pushed to violence because they're self-hate, because that person represents what you really are inside, and that's the shame. And it, like you said, it's great to see these kids questioning it and being okay with it. Like I remember I was asking my niece maybe last year, and I was like, so do you people, she's in college, and I was like, you have friends that are, outwardly, like, they're like, oh, I'm non-binary, or, I'm bisexual, da, da, da. She's like, yeah. And I was like, that's beautiful. Like, that would never,
ever,
let alone just gay, gay, lesbian, but like non-binary, trans, nah.
So many things. Like, I can't even keep up.
Exactly.
I don't even know all the lingo and everything, but yeah, it's good shit.
And I'm learning, and I say this all the time, and you guys are probably sick of me saying it, but I'm going to keep saying it. I'm learning so much from TikTok, aka TikTok. I learned so much, like the vocabulary, the words, the, dead naming. Like, I didn't know what that was.
Wait, what's that? I don't even know what that is.
Dead name. So, like, if you're trans, you don't use their old name because that's not their name.
Oh, okay.
Like dead name. So I was like, oh, that's what it, like, I didn't know they had that name. Like, don't dead name me. And I was like, what does that mean? And, so stuff
Paul,
like that.
Like that.
Yeah. Like, it's being disrespectful because you're not acknowledging who they told you they are now.
Right.
Yeah.
And even I have some coworkers that, the whole pronoun thing, I'm so like bad with it. And I'm like, oh, okay, sorry. But I try to correct it. But I have one coworker, he's so sweet, Rolly. And shout out to Rolly. Hey, Rolly. He always is like so sweet about it. And, he makes sure she makes sure she speaks up. And
nice.
As long as I'm trying, that's what matters.
Yeah.
To Rolly.
Because it's a transition for us too. But we have to really try, because one of the conversations I had with Rebecca when she was on here, and I was super real. I was like, remember 5 years ago, she had told me she went to a conference, because she's like, she works in the public health space, and she went to a conference. She's like, I was just at a conference and we had to go around the room and say our names and our pronouns. Like, it was so new. It was only 5 or 6 years ago. And I was like, what? And I remember me and Danny, we were like, fuck the pronouns, these young motherfuckers. Like, we were
trying to change the shit.
You know what? I don't understand that. How does that even work? Like, we were talking bad shit, but fast forward like 5-6 years now, and here we are, and I'm trying to educate myself, and I'm trying to, someone in my family, and I won't mention because it's their shit to say, but someone in my family who I love and I care about, who's really, really young, just came out to the family to tell us what their pronouns were.
Is. And, nice.
And the thread included people that were 60 to like her age, so the age range, so the responses of the people in the family were hilarious, but it was all with love. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I love it.
Like the little jabs and the little jokes, but it was all about love. I was just like, I'm so proud of you. I see you, like, whatever. Like, I'm, okay, what is it? I'm going to try to, use it and
be on board,
and try to be respectful and stuff. And also, it's also important for anyone. It doesn't matter if they're young or old. I could be like today, I could be like, you know what? My pronouns are such and such as, or you know what? I'm into guys, or I'm into girls. But you know what? I can fucking change my mind at any fucking time. And that's okay too.
Yes, for sure.
And I think you. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what, that's what's great about it, but also that we all have to realize,
respect it.
Just
who cares? It. People all in everybody's business. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Mind your business.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do you want to support original content that supports diverse voices? Why not support Word to Your Mama? You're listening to it right now. Become a patron. Head over to patreon.com/WTYM. There are 4 patron levels to choose from, including Good Looking Out, I'm Down, Hell Yeah, and Please Believe It. Benefits include patron shoutouts, exclusive patron-only content, and so much more. Head on over to patreon.com/WTYM to take your support to the next level. Gracias.
So we have a comment from the audience for this for specific relative show. And it is, what is our favorite Oasis flavor? And this is from future guest Karen Hernandez.
Okay, Karen,
because she knows about the Oasis. So if you guys are not familiar, if you live in San Diego, Imperial Beach, I'll have a link to it. We've talked about it before, I believe. We talked about it on a Relatives.
Yes, we did. Yes.
Oh, yeah, because the fighting. Right. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So Oasis is still to this day one of the best Mexican ice cream places. You can go to many in your neighborhood, no matter where you are in the country, it will not taste like this. So what are your favorite, if you remember?
I'm trying to remember. So they had the paletas, is that what it's called?
They have paletas, they have the fruit ones, the agua, and they had the cream ones.
The milky.
Uh-huh.
And I used to like both. I like the coconut because they had the coconut coming out of it, like once you ate it. I.e., I hate coconut now.
I've been hating coconut.
Like I like coconut milk but coconut flavored things. Trash.
Those little things, if there's one little like coconut shred, one little thing, I find it, I can taste it. And I'm like, no.
Pulp in your popsicle.
No.
So, but then back in the day, I liked that. I don't know, for some reason I like that. And I like the strawberry one for sure.
They're strawberry. So I would get paletas to go. We would get them to go so we could have them at home. But when we were there, we'd get scoops, right? I remember one time I took the G's. I took Joe and Danny, and I forget who else. And for some reason, we didn't know how to say scoops in Spanish. So he's like, "It scoops."
El scoops. Like, is that a cholo? El scoops.
So anytime I take people, I have them get my favorite. Or if I don't take them, I tell them to go there and I'm not with them. I tell them to get my favorite. The agua, right? The sorbet, fresh sorbet stuff.
Yes.
2 scoops of strawberry, 1 scoop of lime.
Yummy.
Because it's not lemon, it's lime.
Yes.
And it's white. It's white. So no artificial colors or any artificial flavors.
Yummy.
That fucking shit.
Strawberry lime.
It's the best thing
So will
ever.
it still taste the same if you get 1 scoop of each versus 2 and 1?
I don't know, because I just always, since I
That's
was
the
a kid,
chemistry.
that's my, recite.
That's your formula.
My recipe of 2 scoops.
Recite.
That's I always tell the supernatural friend. Do we got a recite?
Recite. Hilarious. Yeah.
So yeah.
I like the paletas.
But strawberry for sure. I was just talking about Oasis the other day to the Supernatural Bear. Because we got like a strawberry lime one from Whole Foods. He's like, oh my goodness. He's like, this is like probably like the best. I was like, no.
No, kid.
I was like, when I take you to Oasis, he was too young to remember. But I was like, I go, it's better. He goes, better than this? I go, mijo, 10 times better than this.
And my boy has a palate.
He has a motherfucking palate.
Yeah, for sure. Like he's eating curry. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
And ginger, like I didn't even know what ginger was until I was grown.
Since jump, this guy's palate.
Insane.
Like he would be like, is this organic to avocados? When he was like 3. And I was like, yeah, it's organic when it wasn't. And I was like, fuck, how does he taste that shit? Yeah,
so
his palate is crazy. His palate. It's because, he's from out of this world and his dad is a bear. So he's half bear. And so he's a supernatural bear. He got those animal, the animal palate.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So that's it. So yours is coconut. Used to be. Not anymore.
Yeah.
But strawberry.
And strawberry for sure. Strawberry all day long. Yeah.
And a paleta form though, the strawberry, the leche and the agua, and also the tamarindo.
For sure. I can't recall the tamarindo there, but I to this day love tamarindo.
They're tamarindo paletas or scoops.
I want to go. That sounds so good. Dang.
Man.
Now I gotta definitely take a visit. And I passed right by there last time I was home too.
You passed right by,
but it was, it's COVID and how it goes.
See.
I don't even know if it was open. It was just like, I was straight down Imperial, whatever street that is. But yeah.
Yeah, I hope the last thing I heard is that a long, long time ago, the owner, I forget the señor's name, he had a heart attack and that his kids didn't really want to they didn't want to go into the business of that. And I was like, oh
no. Wow.
But it's still there right now. So I don't know what happened. I don't know if he's still alive. I don't know if maybe someone in the family is still running it, and hopefully the recipes haven't changed, but it's fucking classic. And they still, to this day, no website, nada. No social media, nada. It's just like word of mouth, Yelp, Imperial Beach.
The bomb. Yeah.
Oasis Ice Cream Parlor. It's Mexican as fuck. And it's super fucking good. So yeah. Gracias, Karen.
Thank you, Karen. Love you. That was a good question.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's see. Anything else? I think this might be, a shorter episode as we figure how to get you. I want to get Dee and Duana on.
That's my sister and brother-in-law / dad / uncle / mentor / everything. Bones.
Yeah. So we'll try to make that happen. And then like we said before, Martha and Joey.
Please, Martha and Joey, we have to have you on. That's gonna be classic.
And I wonder if you guys listen to the episode where I get jumped on the way to Menace Society, maybe we could have Jennifer on and she could tell her side of the story, how it looked as she's sitting in the car as I'm getting beat the fuck up.
And it'll be special with her British accent.
And by the end of the conversation, we'll all have British accents.
Oh my goodness.
It'll be massive.
Massive, grand. I love it. But yeah, as far as junior high, I ain't had nobody. I was wearing uniforms, and the transfer to 9th grade
to our whack school that was hella easy.
So easy that I don't know why I didn't get straight A's. I probably got like A's and B's, but that's just because I slacked because it was way easier than where I came from.
Yeah. And plus I was dragging you, trying to take you places and do shit because I was a bad influence. I'm sorry.
It was good though. It was all well worth it. Fun times.
You know what? Speaking of that, was your mom ever like, I don't want you hanging around with Marisa?
Never.
Okay. I looked like I was a good girl though. I wasn't bad. I wasn't disrespectful.
But I think we hung out at your house more than my house.
No. No, because no one's really allowed in my house because of that motherfucker.
But I was over your house a lot.
I think by a lot, you mean like more than twice? Like maybe?
Your memory's shot because I was definitely at your house a lot to me because I'm like, oh, can I spend the night? Or then you'll be like, oh, spend the night. Maybe this was later on when you got older, but I was at your house a lot. I mean, well, I'll go there. We'll be in your room versus like all out, but I was definitely at your
because
house
we were not in the living room because I wasn't even allowed really in the living room.
Yeah, we didn't want to go in there anyway. Like
exactly.
That. Like your room was fun enough.
Like I think because we're out in the streets so much, I think maybe at most night, like seriously, because I really wasn't allowed, like maybe twice at night.
What are you talking about?
I'm serious.
I definitely have been over your house more than twice.
No, you've been over to the house, but to spend the night, maybe the most twice.
A lot because we went to TJ a lot. And you were my alibi. And I would remember you had your own phone line. And I'm like, oh, Mom, I'm spending the night at Marissa's house. You know, she had your phone number, but we'll take it off the hook.
Yeah, we did. We're fucking bad.
What are you talking about? That's how I used to go to TJ was because I was spending the night at your house. You just don't remember.
It wasn't that many times, though,
yes,
for sure.
Was. Did we go to TJ a lot?
We went a handful of times, but we didn't always come back to my house. Maybe you're supposed to be spending the night at my house.
Where did we go?
It's barracks.
Baby. You make my
and on that note, we bid you adieu.
The barracks? What are those?
I know. People that know, they're like, fucking bitches.
Little hoes. Oh my goodness. No, I did. I don't know. She doesn't remember you guys, but I did go to her house a lot and spent the night a lot because I loved how your mom cooked. I love the soup with the little noodles.
Yeah.
I love the Doritos with the cottage cheese.
Doritos cottage cheese.
I tell people about that. Yeah, I tell people about that all the time.
Doritos
even though I'm dairy free.
Yeah, I'm dairy free too. I don't know if it'll taste the same. And you know what? And we're like, don't eat Doritos that often. Because they have the red dye and they're just not the best for you. And we tried they came out with this healthy Dorito shit. I was like, these taste like Cool Ranch, and I hate Cool Ranch Doritos.
Yeah, I'm all about the OG nacho cheese flavor.
And I tried the Trader Joe's equivalent. It's okay, but it's not Dorito. It doesn't have that Doritos flavor.
Yeah, even the Cheetos.
Ugh.
Me no likey. I don't like that shit. But no, yeah. I'm just gonna set the record straight. I spent the night at your house more than 2 times.
But not more than 5. I can guarantee that.
What? I'm gonna say I did.
No.
More than 5.
How spend the night? Actually spend the night. Do you remember what the shower looks like?
Yes. It was right next to the door. Bruh, I spent the night lots of times because how you gonna tell me from 9th grade to 12th grade I didn't spend the night more than 5 times?
Because my house was that fucked up. Because, this makes sense now. Maybe because when we were older and going, my mom and Ray were gone. They were in Texas.
Okay, I still spent the night.
So that makes sense how you would be able to spend the night more than twice. That's the only way now that it's coming back.
Twice? I can't believe you're still stuck on twice.
Dude, with Ray up in the house, there's no fucking way, dude. I
would even talk to Ray, like a little, hey, Ray, we would talk a little bit, and he was like, whatever, but...
And he's like, racist as fuck. Racist as fuck.
Yeah, he was racist. I remember that. I remember you told me one time, like, I don't think he likes black people.
He doesn't. He's the dude that said that he can't be racist when I try to call him out. When we talked, because for like 2 years we didn't talk living in the same house. But he was the dude that said he can't be racist because his best friend's black. I've never met your best friend.
Where is he?
It was a coworker.
He's a clown ass. That's why.
He's trash. But let me say just real quick. I was just talking about that motherfucker last night. And I was like, it just out of nowhere shit pops in my brain. And Rock is like, ugh. And I'm just like, he was like cleaning dishes. And I was like sitting there and I was like, you know what? I was like, just like on some petty shit. I was like, to support my brother, my younger brother, that's his father. I was like, but that motherfucker's going to live a long time. But when he dies, I go, some petty shit. I go, I will go to support my brother, but I also want to go because I want to make sure that motherfucker's dead.
Facts. We have to know that for
And I was like, because he's like back and forth between Texas and Dago. And I was just like, yeah, no, I'll fly over there. I don't give a fuck. People can look at me. I don't give a, because I was saying if he dies, he'll probably get buried over there. But in San Diego, on my mom's gravestone, it's his picture. His picture is already on the tombstone. It just has his birth date. It doesn't have his death because he's still alive. And I was like, but he's remarried and he's a fucking asshole. So he's probably not going to be buried in California next to his ex-wife. You know what I'm saying?
Horrific.
So I was like, so he's gonna be buried in Texas. And I was like, I'm rolling.
Hell yeah. And then you'll show up and then people be like, who is it?
Like, none of your motherfucking business.
Don't worry about it. Yeah. That's insane.
And I'll just carry around a picture of his tombstone.
This who I am.
Yeah, exactly. See, right? That's me.
Oh my goodness.
And I was just thinking about that. Rocket was rolling. I was like, yeah, just to be petty. I want to be like show face. Because no one's seen me in like 20-something years.
I'm with you on that. I'm petty too.
And you want to roll with me? We'll roll together. Like,
I'll definitely support you on this. Support, ride or die, baby.
And I want to go up to the casket or whatever. Like, who's to say? Especially if it's an open casket, and just look at him and be like, yeah, exactly. Goodbye. Dead.
Okay. What an asshole. But he was never mean to me to my face.
No, those are the worst.
Yeah.
Like, if you're gonna be, you know what I'm saying? He's like incognito mean. Like, he was just like abuser from fuck that motherfucker.
He was never mean though to me. That's all.
No, he would never be. He
was mean to you?
Dude, we're gonna get into it. Like, he was the fucking worst. When I was little, I would have shit on my arm. He'd grab me. Like, it was fucked up. What? I hated that motherfucker.
I never knew this shit.
Yeah, we'll get into it. When I was in 2nd grade, I remember my plan on how I was going to kill him.
That's my girl.
Because I was like, okay, I'm too little, physically little, but there's this one lamp, and if I break it open, it's like a big thing of a bunch of shards of, knives, and I can like stab him and shank. Like I had the whole plan. Like, how am I gonna kill this motherfucker? Because he was so abusive to my mom and my like.
Here comes the hot stepper, murderer.
Murder.
Yes. Little murder. Yeah, little murder. That's gonna be your name. Oh my god.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, nah, him there, no. You wouldn't have been allowed. Like words would have been said, but not to me. It would have been said to my mom. And yeah, like it was like that. Like I was just
over there, but I wasn't spending the night. I don't see.
And you weren't even just over there either, because I could never really have people overnight.
What are you talking about? I always brag like, oh, I used to always go to Marissa's house, and I did. Whose house was I at?
Maybe my Tia's house?
No, I was at your house. But like you said, maybe they weren't out of town. But what are you talking about? I used to spend the night, and they used to get up and go to swap meet.
The swap meet.
And they would leave us. Your mom would leave us a note in the kitchen or on your desk or something in the kitchen. Oh, I made this for you guys. And I stayed over there. I know what I did. You blacked that shit out.
I know you did, but I know it wasn't a grip of times. And when it was more than the twice, it was when we were older, and she was like in remission from cancer, and they went to Texas because they left me. Because I have a picture of Bert, the picture with the digits. It's not me in my bed. It's Berto in my bed.
Berto who?
Alberto. Remember, tall ass?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Berto.
Oh yeah, not your Berto.
Not my baby daddy.
Not your baby daddy.
I was like, we knew him.
Not El Cantante.
El Cantante.
Yeah. So, and that was the only way, is because they were gone. They'd be gone for like a month, 2 months, or whatever.
Oh, damn, really?
Yeah, they were gone for a long time.
That's crazy. And they're leaving you, and you're like not, like, how old?
I don't know.
10th grade?
I was. They're like, she's grown.
Right. She got a key.
That was another time. They're like, she's fine.
She got a key. That's
good. No, bad. And that time, I think I was already at Chula Vista, and I had the Jetta. So they're like, she's fine.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So anyways, I digress.
I digress.
But that's what I'm saying. This is why relatives is important. This is why it's important to talk to your longtime friends, because we've known each other how long now? You didn't know all this shit was happening. You didn't know that I was planning murders at 2nd grade. You didn't know. Like, it's funny. Goodness. Like, it's so crazy. I could see the same things. Like, I could see it, because I was on a mission. I was on a mission. Like, fuck this motherfucker. And that's why I was like, I'm never going to be in this type of relationship. No motherfucker's ever going to do this shit to me. Because you could go either way. It's like, that's all you know, and that's what you think you're worth because that's what you saw. But there was something in me, and I was like, fuck that. Right. Never, ever gonna let that happen to me.
Yeah. This is definitely therapeutic.
So we'll get into it, because more shit, there's like way more shit. And, when I tell people, like, I come from darkness, it's some darkness.
Darkness I don't even know about.
Exactly. And we were all the time like hanging out hardcore. Why do you think I would always be spending the night at your place, especially when we moved to Chula Vista?
You only spent the night twice. What are you talking about?
What do you mean? I smelled the chitlins down the hallway in the breezeway.
Remember the breezeway? Oh my God. That was no joke.
They had signs that said it was a breezeway.
Breezeway. Yes. That was one of my favorite places to live. I like that place. Because I moved back as an adult.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I like that place. It was really cute. Oxford,
yes. Yeah, you guys, that was the first time I was like, what does that smell?
Wait, my mom was making chitlins?
Yeah.
I'm surprised. Really?
It was a rare situation. You told me it was a rare situation.
Yeah, because she doesn't do that shit.
And I was like, what is that smell? And you're like, oh, she's making shit. And I was like, what is that? And then you told me, and I was like, what? But then I wasn't like, I couldn't, as a, Mexican, we eat tripe and shit. So and intestine and all that shit. So it wasn't like what? Oh my God. It was kind of like, okay. Another way of,
Right.
I just don't know that smell. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, boo, boo.
She was cleaning them out, right? So
yeah, you're probably right. I just don't recall. I don't have a fond memory of my mom making shit. Like my grandma, yes. My mom, really? But I ain't gonna put it past her.
But what? Because of the process for each was different and the smells were less?
No, I just felt like once it was just my mom and I, she didn't really cook a lot.
See.
So I could see D cooking that, but I don't know. Maybe I'm sure my mom did. It just got less and less and less.
It was a one-time thing for sure. The breeze way, man. The breeze way.
Yeah. Good days, good old days. Love it.
Good old days. All right then. So until next time, next relatives.
We talking high school, baby.
We're getting into high school, man.
Even though we said that last time, we're really going to get into it.
Yeah, it has come naturally. Like
subtle.
Boom. We'll get into high school. We had a catch up, and then so next time high school, as I went to another high school and you went to another high school, it was a 1 year break or 1 year break.
I thought I was never going to see you again. I did. I was sad. I was like, what? I got to go to this school by myself. And it was traumatic for me.
But then we still hung out.
Yeah, which made it even good because then you had your stories. I have my stories.
Exactly.
I spent the night at your house on the weekends. Like, I don't know why you don't think that I did, though. I did. I feel like I did.
Yes, that's hilarious.
Yes. Good times. So, yeah, I'm excited about high school because, baby, high school.
Because that would be interesting. I don't know how it was for you that first year.
Interesting.
So
as much as I can remember, but we gon' you
gotta start making those notes now. You gotta start making notes. Like when you think of a story, write it down. In one place.
And the crazy times I think of the stories, I'm at work giving people money back. Like, okay, let me pull out my pad.
Just bring out your phone and just dictate into notes.
Yeah.
And just be like such.
But yeah, for sure. I'm gonna start.
The time Marissa got punched by my boyfriend at the football game. And she got in a fight and got suspended.
Oh, Lord. He got kicked out.
Yeah, because he wasn't in the area, fucker.
I think you told, too. That shit's funny. He don't even live up here. Get him.
Shit, I forgot about that part.
He live in the hood.
Oh, I forgot about that part.
I barely remembered it myself.
Oh my God. Oh, so I can't wait to get into that because I remember I was getting like even praises from the teachers. They're calling me Mike Tyson.
Oh man, the dynamics of it all.
Oh my goodness. All right, Nye.
And here we are. The same. Crazy as hell.
Staying competitive in these dynamic times means having the right technology at work for your small or medium-sized business. Whether your goal is to grow, downsize, or modernize, Panoply BPO provides the right combination of tools, support, and affordability necessary to make it a reality. Visit panoplybpo.com. That's PANOPLYBPO.com to schedule your no-obligation consultation today. Mention WTYM and get your 13th month of service for free. PanoplyBPO.com. There is a better way. And now, introducing
the Supernatural Bear Corner. Supernatural Bear. Yeah, I'm gonna eat those chips with the creamy hull. I'm gonna snack till I can't no more. I'm gonna eat those chips with the creamy hull. I'm gonna snack till I can't no more. I got the creamy hull in the bag. Corn chips are intact. When I go get more, I should probably bring a mask to be more lean. in this quarantine. My house is kinda dirty, so I ought to make it clean now. Ain't nobody snacking on nothing. Nobody's snacking on nothing. Ain't nobody snacking on nothing. Nobody's snacking on nothing. That's a piece of creamy Hall. That's good. Thank you for listening to Word to Your Mama. Boom.
Shooby-doo. Yeah. There you have it. Episode 31, Relatives 06. And all that is true. All that we say is true. And it's good times. And I love discovering all that shit with Nyysha. It is very therapeutic. And I hope you guys have a good time. And I hope we do our best to try to explain, if it's an inside joke or a little history of what we're talking about. And the little man, the supernatural bear, my little man, he had the request of recording that because yesterday, or the day before yesterday, we went to our favorite Mexican restaurant here, Slim Pickens out here. I don't know why, but it's Slim Pickens out here. And they make their own creamy jalepeño salsa. It is so good, and it's his favorite thing. So he made this song. He did all the lyrics himself, and he's like, I want to record. I was like, okay, you want to do that for the next Supernatural Bear Corn? He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm going to bring some chips. And he actually had the real creamy jalapeno sauce up in here. And I was like, you don't need it because they don't see. He's like, I need to be authentic. I was like, of course, Mio. You're right. You're absolutely right. So again, thank you for all the support, and we'll see you on the next times. Tell your peeps, tell your friends. And as always, we reap. Word to Your Mama is owned and produced by Ritzy P. Intro beat produced by Nico Beats. Relatives intro produced by Howie T. For more information on the podcast, go to wordtoyourmama.com. And as always, Word to Your Mama is brought to you by ritzyperiwinkle.com and Panoply BPO